to the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. We welcome all those on the West Coast and all those in between and all those on the East Coast. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to start with a spiritual mind treatment. So if you would, close your eyes and join me, where we all connect in the oneness, the allness, the isness of God, knowing right where we are, God is in its entirety. God is the source of our life, of everything that is good in our life, of all the people in our life. God is all this and so much more. God is peace and harmony and joy and freedom and power, clarity, creativity, inspiration. All this, God is. I know my life is God's life. I know Reverend Valerie's life is God's life. I know each person that is tuned into this broadcast is the life of God. Perfect, whole, and complete, lacking nothing, limited by nothing, restricted by nothing. And so as we move into this celebration service, I know each person gets exactly what they get from the service. And that each person is uplifted and inspired as they inspire us, knowing that you're right here with us. There is no separation. So I bless this gathering. I bless this service. I bless Anthony and Greg and Sheila, knowing that they are contributing to this broadcast in such a beautiful way. I know that this life is God's life, and I give thanks for it. So very grateful, eternally grateful for knowing the truth, knowing that we are one, knowing that this word is complete and now fulfilling itself. In that knowingness, I release, I let go, I let God, and together we say, and so it is. Oh, excuse me. At this time, I'd like to introduce somebody that's very special to us. She has wonderful karma. She has wonderful energy. She is our special music. Welcoming her all the way from Texas, let's give our love and light to Robin Hackett.
Spirit and I are one. 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 Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Light. Spirit and I are one. 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 Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Light. Spirit and I are one. 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 Holy, holy, holy. 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 Light. love, love.
This mind is the creator of the heavens and the earth and all that dwell therein. And God will supply all our needs. This is a beautiful thought, that we are fed from the table of the universe, whose board is ever spread with blessedness and peace, whose loving kindness has never been fathomed, whose grace and truth are the cornerstones of reality. We are to be fed, clothed, and supplied in every need, straight from the center and source of all. More than this we could not ask. Greater could not be given. Lowell tells us that heaven alone is given away, and all is ours for the asking. Shall not this asking then include all righteousness and truth?
Mm-hmm. So once again, it's my high privilege to introduce our musical guest, the one, the only, Robin Hackett.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning, Valerie.
Good
And
morning.
good morning to everyone. Here's an old classic favorite that I'm sure that people love. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, we have already come. Was grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. And grace will lead us home.
Beautiful.
That's so beautiful, Robin. Thank you so much.
We're so happy to have you here in our living room, even though you're in Texas.
I know. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yes. We'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
So today's title is The Amazing Grace Factor. And we just had a real experience of that. Thank you so much for that, Robin.
Mhm.
So I want to start with a little thing that I learned from Heart Math, where we just, each of us, close our eyes and just breathe in and breathe out. And then send love to all of the people that are in the room with you, if there are any. And then send love to all of your family and all of your friends and all of the people that you care about. And then send love to everyone on the planet. And then send love to all the animals and beings on the planet. And send love to the planet right from your heart. Send that love right from your heart. And then send that heartfelt love right back to yourself. And that is an experience of grace. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about that grace that is always present with us, all of the time. That grace is there when we're peaceful and calm like we are right now. That grace is there when we're upset, going the way that we think we should. That grace is always there. And so I have a quote from Ram Dass. He was on the cover of the Science of Mind magazine this month. And when I read that article, it's like, oh, I have to say this. He said, there is much more in any given moment than we perceive, and that we ourselves are much more than we perceive. When you know that, part of you can stand outside the drama of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to just take a few minutes for us to focus on what is real. Is what we're perceiving right now reality? Or is reality experience we chose to have? And that there are things that happen that make us happy and things that are upsetting. And we chose to come here to learn and grow. So we chose experiences to create that growth. And so we can spend our life being happy when things are going well and not happy and mad and angry and whatever choices that we make when things feel like they're not. And then we can understand that that's not the truth of our being. Okay, yes, that's an experience that we're having in this physical reality, but it's not who we are. And we can expand our perception of who we are into understanding that we're always in God's grace.
Yes.
All the time, at every moment. And that we're here to grow and expand. And I know for myself that I do most of my deepest growing not when everything's going just really, really well,
Oh,
but no, when I have challenges. So I found another quote this week that just really, really hit me in the heart. To forget our divine nature is a necessary stage in the game of life, but so is remembering. As human beings on this amazing adventure, we all share the same primal purpose, to discover our divine nature, to surrender to the power within, and to inspire others on this journey. I am God in disguise, and so are you.
mm-hmm.
That was written by Greg Colvano, and his book is I Am God in Disguise, and so are you. So then I wonder, who did you come here to be? Did you come here to be someone who gets upset over little things? Did you come here to be a world leader? Did you come here to change the planet? So I'm asking you to just take a little minute and think about what is important to you in your life. What are those things that really matter to you? Because that's who you came here to be. Is those things that touch your heart, those things that say, yes, the divine is with me now. And so we all have those experiences of grace, those times when, well, like when Robin was singing, that was an experience of grace. We all have those, and we know what that feels like. And we also know what it feels like when we're upset because we can't find our keys, or we're going to be late, or we're worried about this, or we've just had an argument with somebody. And so we can choose in that moment to recognize who we are, to just take a breath, to just understand the truth of my being is I'm always, always in grace. And so those things that keep us from grace, the judging, the needing to control things, having things our way. I'm sure there are lots and lots and lots of things like that. And one of the things that we can practice to get back to that place of grace is forgiveness. Forgiveness for ourselves for making mistakes. Mm-hmm. Forgiveness for other people for making mistakes. Mm-hmm. Forgiveness to world leaders for making mistakes. Yes. If we spend our time concentrating on what we don't want, we can make ourselves very, very unhappy. Mm-hmm. So if we concentrate on that grace, that love, that peace, that harmony, that wonder that is living life on this planet, then we can be in grace. And I was just thinking about some things examples of where grace has shown up for me. And one of the things that I came up with was, it was several years ago, and Michael and I were on our way to the video store, and it was kind of late at night. And we're stopped at a red light, and we're the first ones at the red light. And there's this amazing accident between two SUVs right in front of us. One of them ran a red light and hit the other one, and it's careening toward us. And I heard, "You need to get over to the right." And I thought Michael was telling me that. And I said, "I don't think I can." And the car that was careening toward us, it's coming just right toward us like this, veers to the right and ends up inches from our car, and we were safe. I know that was a divine moment. I know that we were going to get hit by that car. And Spirit said, you need to get over. And I said, I can't. So move the car over. I know that happened.
Getting chills.
I know that happened.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest one. But Spirit's grace is also our family and our close friends and those that we care about. And it's also being divinely guided into meeting the right people at the right time. And the example that comes up for me right now, it happens all the time. I remember, I can't think of his name, who wrote the book, You'll See It When You Believe It, Wayne Dyer. And when I first read that book, I didn't know those things then, but then he started talking about those things that we talk about as coincidences and how they're not. And so right now, one of the big amazing, graceful moments of meeting somebody just when we need to is our dearest guru, Anthony, who is allowing us and teaching us to do this amazing thing. So in this time where we're in our homes and can't go out, we're able to still connect with people and hopefully bring some light and some grace into the day. And so I'm so, so grateful for all of those things. So the other things that are grace to me are gratitude and peace and inspiration. Joy is grace. And grace means to me accepting what is. Not thinking, oh, I'll just be happy when. Oh, I'll just be okay when. Oh, I'll just be worth love when. Oh, I'll just find love when. No, grace is recognizing it's right here, right now, right within each one of us. And so I'm just inviting myself and each one listening today to step out of that place of being in the ego, to perceive larger than that, and to step into that grace, into that place where we know that the divine is right where we are. We know that we're being guided and directed and led, and that if we'll just listen, we know what is ours to do. In every moment, we know what is ours to do. And it also means no matter what's happening, I'm always okay, because I'm a spiritual being, an eternal spiritual being, and so are you. And we're always, always in grace.
Whoa. I would like to end it there, but I got to say something. And I was kind of committed to this. We do a movie night, and we did it through Zoom this time, and other people watched it on Amazon. But we all watched it at the same time. And during this movie, something came up for me that was buried deep within me. And it says, you must share this. And I kind of freaked out inwardly. It wasn't an outward freak out, but I thought, I can't do this. So in order to follow through, I told the individuals who were watching the movie with me that I had something I was going to share, and that I hadn't shared it with anyone ever. And I know that because I said I was going to do it, I had to do it. So it kind of blends in with the song Amazing Grace, at least the first part of it. And would you read the definition of grace?
Oh, I think I wrote
Right here.
Okay. Sorry. What is the spiritual meaning of grace? The divine influence which operates in humans to regenerate and sanctify, to inspire virtuous impulses, and to impart strength to endure trial.
That's pretty deep. And it's actually, for me, a challenge to live life at a more profound way. So anyway, this story. It was something that happened at a dark time of my life. It was something that after it was done, I couldn't share it. It was just too emotional, too deep, and too challenging, whether it was real or not. So imagine me in this little studio apartment. The whole building's like kind of French design, and behind the apartments is another set of buildings where there's carports and there's apartments above that. So anyway, that's later in the story. So I come home and everything was caving in on me. I mean, everything. I was going to be evicted. I blew an audition because I was an aspiring thespian. I blew an audition. I had no job. I broke up with somebody I was dating, and everything just came onto me. And I started thinking, if something happened to me, nobody would care. I felt so alone, so deeply, deeply alone that it was just aching in my heart. I mean, I was crying and just begging God to show me something, and it just wouldn't come. I was just in this dark place, and I couldn't handle it anymore. And something in my mind says, why don't you go look in the medicine chest cabinet and take everything in it and see what happens? And I was with that thought for a while, and I decided I was going to do it. So I went into the medicine cabinet. I don't know what was in there, but I took everything. And something happened that I was gone, and I was in a dark place. And I felt something pulling me to this darkness. And I said, no, I don't want to go. Please, God, don't let me go. Please, I don't want to go there. I'm not ready. Please. And I was just begging and begging. And I don't know how much time had gone by. And I don't know, because all my blinds were closed. So it was dark in there. It was very dark. So I don't know how many days went by, but I was just in this constant begging and pleading. And all of a sudden I heard a knock at my back door. And that kind of drew me out of it instantly. And I went and looked at my back door, and there was this young woman, very good looking young woman, standing at my door. And I said, yes, I didn't know who she was. And she says, I've been noticing your car hasn't left the carport for 2 days. And I was just wondering if you're okay. And I started crying. And she says, why don't you come up to my place and we'll have some tea? So I said, okay. And I was in this fog. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to do it. So I went up to her apartment, and we talked and we talked, and she was so just kind. She was so loving and so kind. And we shared stories. I told her my woes, and she shared stories. I don't remember any of them. It was just an amazing time. And she says, well, I think you're okay now. Why don't you go back to your place and have some breakfast? And I said, okay, just following her. So I went back home, had breakfast, and a day went by, and I thought, I was feeling great. Something renewed my soul. So I thought, I'm going to go back to the apartment and thank her for what she did, because she made a difference in my life. So I went back up to the apartment, and I knocked on the door, and there was no answer. And I kind of looked in the window, and the apartment was completely empty. It was completely empty. So I asked my landlord, did somebody move out just yesterday? And he goes, no, it's been empty for a month. And I thought, oh my God, did I hallucinate that? Did I? Excuse me. Did this? Sorry.
It's okay.
Was it an angel? Did an angel come and see me? And that's all I can conclude. So I thought it was something so sacred, I didn't want to share it because I wanted to keep it in my soul. But then part of me thought, well, maybe you're not sharing it because you're ashamed of what you tried to do to yourself. Or maybe you don't want to share it because somebody will think that you're crazy seeing an angel and all this stuff. So I suppressed it down very deep, and I was able to hide it, and I was good with that until I saw this movie, and I thought, oh my God, I got to do this. So I'm going to break down Amazing Grace for what it means to me, and I have to look down to read my notes, so please excuse me. So the first line is, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Well, that was my largest story about grace, but I've had so many times in my life, including what Reverend Valerie just shared, where grace has been in my life. So hearing the sound of grace, the word grace, is definitely a sweet sound. And the next line is, that saved a wretch like me. I kept wretch in there because it's the original lyrics. And I looked up what wretch, the definition of wretch, which Valerie will read to you right here.
Sorry. One who is profoundly unhappy or in great misfortune.
That says it all. So many new thoughters think we got to change that word because it sound, the other way we use wretch is like just a disgusting person. But say it again.
One who is profoundly unhappy or in great misfortune.
Yeah, I was kind of like both those places when this happened. So for me, grace, and in that moment, I was a wretch because I was profoundly unhappy, and I was just lost. So the next line is, I was lost, and now I'm found. I was lost to the darkness. I was lost to my own pain, but I was found. Somebody saw who I was, and they showed me the love. So I was found again. I was found. I was found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. I was blinded from who I was. I couldn't see me until that sweet angel showed up, and she saw me, and I got to see myself. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved.
Mm.
My heart did fear, and grace did relieve it. And the words are just so profound that I feel like it was written for me. How precious did that grace appear that hour I first believed. I don't even have to say anything about that. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I've already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Grace did lead me home. It led me home to my being. It led me home to living a life full. And I was about 28, 29, 30 years old at the time. And all the life that has come from that period of grace, all the things that I've gone through. I actually did get some jobs as an actor. I actually had wonderful things happen to me, met this wonderful woman, and got this ministry. So I hope when you sing that song, you think about the grace that has showed up in your life. Because I'm sure everybody that's out there has had moments where grace just pulled you through something or led you somewhere. And what a wonderful thing it is. What a wonderful, beautiful thing it is. I thank you for joining us and for allowing me to share that. Now it's out in the world. I can let it go. I'm free, and that's a good thing. You got anything you want to say?
I think we should pray.
Why don't you pray?
Okay. Oh, so let's just take a deep breath. Recognize that there is one life, one presence, one infinite intelligence that is everywhere all of the time, in, through, and as everything. It is in our breath. It is beating our hearts. It is thinking our thoughts. We are living our life in that one power, in that one presence, in that one intelligence. Now, I know that that is true for me. I know that that is true for each and every one listening, and for everyone, everywhere, all of the time. And so as we breathe in and out, we recognize that that is spirit indwelling us, that that is the truth of our being, that that is who we are and who we came here to be, to remember the truth, our oneness with God, our oneness with each other, our oneness with all that is. There is no separation. There cannot be God and something else. There is only God. So I'm so grateful Grateful to know that that is the truth. Grateful to have the opportunity to speak these words and be in this place and do this thing called ministry. So grateful for that. Grateful for all the good in all of our lives. Grateful to know that this word is complete in the mind of God. It's complete before we even speak it, because God is right where we are. And so knowing it is complete, knowing it is done, knowing it is manifesting into form, I simply release it into the spirit of love, into the action of the law, knowing it is done. And together we claim it by saying, and so it is. Ashe, amen.
Mm-hmm. So once again, Robin Hackett, I want to dedicate this song to a member of ours who grace brought her into my life, Ernestine Garcia.
Wonderful. So, Michael, I'm going to share a song with you that kind of coincides with a moment that you just talked about. And I haven't sung this song in years, and I didn't plan it until just now when I heard you say what you said. So this song is called Grace, and I wrote it so many years ago. So hopefully I'll remember the words. In the darkest hour, after the storm, when I lay me down, waiting for the calm. With all of these days of struggling and strife, well, I wondered what was to be my life. And when she appeared, she was the color of fire, with a caravan of sweetness and flowers. She never asked, she just walked right in. And I knew my dreaming was about to end. Yes, I knew my dreaming was about to end. When grace comes walking through the door, with a golden platter of light streaming forth. When grace comes walking through the door, you recognize her and what she's come for. Oh, la 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 la. She said, I am the power that place in your heart where nothing can touch you or tear you apart. She said, I am the dawn, I have come for you, friend. Now you must decide if you will let me in. And when I opened my eyes, there was grace everywhere, and I could not believe of this vision, my prayer, when I was much younger than this. I would have turned my back on this moment of bliss. I would have turned my back on this moment of bliss. When grace comes walking through the door, with a golden platter of light streaming forth. When grace comes walking through the door, will you recognize her and what she's come for? When grace comes walking through the door, with a golden platter, light streaming forth. When grace comes walking through the door, you recognize her and what she's come for. What she's come for.
Whoa, how perfect was that? Even though I dedicated that song, it was for the last song you're going to do, but that one made sense too because it's all good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Robin. That was so beautiful and so apropos. I really appreciate you and love you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're glad we can still see you even though you're in Texas.
I know. Thank
you, Anthony.
Michael,
So,
thank you
Ian-
for the story because we've all had moments like that. So thank you.
Yes, and we'll be back to you in a moment.
Okay.
Okay, it's our conscious giving time. And we've made things easy for you to give. You can go right to our website and put the amount in that you want to give, and it'll take you right through it. You can do PayPal on our website. If you're somebody who likes to text to give, you text YUGIVE to 888-364-GIVE. And that you can text to give. We also, for those people who like to use an app, we have Venmo. So there's a QR code right there. You can just position your camera just right over that, and it will take you right to our site, and you can donate through Venmo. So for all of you who are joining us, for all of you who are supporting us, for all of you who are giving in ways that you're giving out in the world, we're just so, so grateful.
Yes, thank you. So we're going to bless the gifts.
Okay.
No, I don't need to hold it. We're going to bless the gifts and the givers, giving thanks for those that are giving from their heart, for the gifts that they give, knowing that they bless this ministry and knowing that they go into the world and bless many people and they come back multiplied to each and every giver. Thank you. So it is.
So it is.
Once again, the dedication applies to this song, and I welcome Robin Hackett.
Yay, Robin.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Little heart of mine, I'm gonna let it love. Oh, this little heart of mine, I'm gonna let it love. This little heart of mine, I'm gonna let it love, let it love, let it love, let it love. This little voice of mine, I'm gonna let it speak. Oh, this little voice of mine, I'm gonna let it speak. This little voice of mine, I'm gonna let it speak, let it speak, let it speak, let it speak. And these little eyes of mine, I'm gonna let them see. Oh, these little eyes of mine, I'm gonna let them see. Little light of mine, I'm gonna let them see, let them see, let them see, let them see. And this little mind of mine, I'm gonna let it grow. Oh, this little mind of mine, I'm gonna let it grow. This little mind of mine, I'm gonna let it grow, let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. Everybody, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, 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 let let it shine, let it shine.
Hey. Woo-hoo. Thank you so much. I'm sure that Ernestine is out there listening, and we thank her for writing that verse. There was one that was left out, but that's okay. This intuition of mine.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay, because it was so beautifully done, and we appreciate Ernestine for writing that. She did it as a class project. So thank you, Robin. We love you.
We do.
Thank you. I love you guys too.
And we can't wait till you come back home.
Me too. It's
Stay
hot.
cool. Stay cool.
All right. Thank you.
Great blessing. Bye. Yeah. So let us turn within. Give thanks. Thanks for this wonderful day. Thanks for this service unfolding in its brilliance. Thanks for all the people that helped to make this possible. Thanks for our lives. Thanks for the love in our lives. Thanks for this planet that we get to live on. Thanks for our soul surging into its greatness. Thanks for everything and everyone. Eternally grateful, knowing that in our gratitude, in our thanksgiving, everything is attracted to us. Everything we need for the highest and best good for our lives. This word is complete, so I let it go, and I allow it to be, and so it is.
And is the Zoom link up, Anthony? Okay, so if you are like me and you just saw a service and some things touched you, but now you want to talk about it, and we're going to go to Zoom right now, and we're going to have a discussion with everybody that wants to join us on Zoom. So blessings to everyone out there, and for those of you who want to talk more, we'll see you on Zoom in a minute. Have a blessed week.
Namaste.